Today's episode of Chat and Chew is sponsored by Redwood Creative Crew. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, hit the bell to activate notifications that will remind you when we're on. Please be sure to leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Ricky, and I am here with a brand new season of the Chat and Chew podcast. I believe this is season 4, episode 1. Now, off the bat, we're not gonna do what we did with previous seasons. Previous seasons, you've been with us, you've been living with us, we've been seeing each other, but we need a real commitment. We need a ring. I need you to subscribe this season so that we can stay this conversation, this interaction can keep going on. So, look, if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, whatever you got to push, whatever button you got to press, so that the next time we go live with the Chat and Chew podcast, you'll know about it and you don't have to miss the good stuff and try to watch it back later. So look, we need a commitment. Let's make this year off right. Everybody got January resolutions. Make a resolution this year that you're going to make a real commitment. We're going to see you on a regular basis, that you're not just going to come see us every now and again, but on a regular basis, we got a real relationship. We make it a commitment. So however you're watching this, however you're viewing this, number one, welcome. Thank you so much. You don't have to look at this, the fact that you are viewing. We're so glad that you're here. But number 2, make a commitment. Subscribe. Every time you hit join or subscribe or follow, if you're on Facebook, what that simply does is every single time we post anything or go live, you'll get a personal notification so you don't miss anything. And you definitely don't want to miss anything, especially with an organization like Fathers Forever. Dr. Glen Warren is here. How are you, sir?
I'm well.
We're going to be recapping. Before you can just jump into a new year, sometimes we can be so mission-minded and be so focused on what we got to do next,
right, that
we sometimes can skip over and jump past what we've already done. And so we're going to look at what we've done in 2024. 2024 was a year, and it blew by fast, and I know a lot happened. And we got some numbers that I'm really excited to show our audience tonight. But for those who don't know, I don't want to assume everybody knows and understands everything that Fathers Forever is. This is a multifaceted organization that's been around for a good while now. And so for some of our new viewers, some people who may not be familiar yet with the mission and the vision and the story of Fathers Forever, can you share, I guess, the core mission of what this organization is all about and how it addresses very prevalent and pressing challenges of fatherlessness?
Yeah. Our primary goal, our main goal is reduce fatherlessness. And, the Bible talks about restoring the hearts of the fathers to the children. And we brought this biblical mandate to the 21st century and how to restore the hearts of the fathers to the children. And we do that through a lot of reasons, a lot of ways. But our core is to reduce fatherlessness and get fathers back involved in their kids' lives and get their kids back involved in their father's life. So that's our core mission.
Yeah, and that's absolutely an important mission. It's something that if you are attached to Fathers Forever, if you've been looking at Fathers Forever for a while, it's something that should be near and dear to your heart, because Fathers Forever is all about healing fathers and saving families. That if you can heal the father, you can save the family. And that's something that we don't just say, it's something that we throw on shirts and cups and websites, but it's something that we live out every single day through the mission and vision of this organization, especially through 2 particular pillars. Fathers Forever does a lot, but there are 2 particular pillars that Fathers Forever really does most of its impact through, and that's through the fatherhood program, the training course, the teaching, the curriculum, but then also transitional housing. And I want you to kind of deal with a little bit of both of those, because while they are both Fathers Forever, in definition, they're quite different in what they do. And I think it's good for people to see the reach and the mission for each one, and on why is each one important. What is it about each pillar that really drives you to really focus on teaching fathers, but also on the backside of it, we also have a space and an environment to help reduce and even eliminate fatherlessness.
Yes. So when you look at the numbers, and you can talk about those numbers earlier, But the first pillar is the fatherhood component, which is 12 classes. And it is a lot of our guys come to us by order of the court. So a guy at risk of going to jail for non-child support, they said, we could put you in jail, but we're not. We're going to order you to the program. We'll put that on hold now. That sentence is over your head, but we'll put that on hold and we'll send you to the fatherhood program. Now, if you don't comply, we're going to activate that sentence. So that's a motivation for guys to comply with big world evolution. Big world. And they do comply, and they complete the program. And since 2017, and like we could talk about the numbers, that's the component that we've been doing. And these guys come and, we have 12 classes. We talk about, anger management. A lot of guys have a lot of anger with them. And, resentment, bitterness, for a lot of reasons. But they have a lot of betterment issues. So we talk about, these guys, a large percent of these guys grew up without their father. Yeah. So they themselves have some serious abandonment issues. Yep. So we'll talk about that. We also talk about, Pastor, if your child support, where's your child support money? Man, yeah. That's a major. And since 2008, we've been in the Wake County Child Support Court. And when COVID hit, we kind of, locked everything down, closed everything down. But our goal is to get back into the courtroom on a regular basis and start getting those referrals because it's very important for guys. And the thing about it, the guys not going to come on their own. No, they're not. And let's not skip over the fact that you said y'all been doing this since 2008. Yes. So y'all not new to this. Y'all started this. Y'all back in the trenches. We've been in the trenches, yeah. Oh, wow. And I don't think people understand the impact of having that kind of intervention inside of the court system, where usually at that point, most people are giving up on the father. Yes. Most people are saying it's a lost cause. Yes. He's not going to do what he's supposed to do. Yes. And it's very, very rare that when you are down for the count and when everything and everybody is against you, and there's something or somebody or an organization saying, hey, it's not over for you. Right. There's still hope for you. And I love the fact that there's another option. There's another pathway to say, look, this is not just punishment that you have to face. Punishment is one thing, right? But we want to preserve you for your purpose. You still got to be a dad. Yes. And with the fatherhood curriculum, with the fatherhood program, we talked about this before, where it's very hard to give what you've never been given. Exactly. And sometimes these men in situations, I get people say, you lay down to make the baby, you got to make, but there are certain skills of fatherhood, yes, that you have to have. Yes. And if you didn't grow up with a dad, if you didn't grow up with a dominant male presence in your life, sometimes you don't know what to do. And so what are some of the, you can't give all of them, of course, but what are some of the key skills that are given throughout the teaching or the 12 weeks of this program, Faber? One thing is co-parenting. And to be able to co-parent with the child's mother. Right. Y'all have this child together. You like each other at least one time, or you got 4 kids. You like so how do you co-parent? How do you get along with one another? Yeah. How do you put your relationship that you're not working out too good aside for the sake of the kids? Right. So now mom's gonna get married again, dad's gonna get married again. So now you got 4 parents instead of 2 parents. That kid should be getting double. Absolutely. As opposed to now, sometimes they get mad at one another, and they would forbid the father. The father to see the child, and the child say, I'm not going to pay child support. I'm not going to support the child unless you take me off of child support. And those big went back and forward is one of the main things we try to eliminate by telling fathers, hey, it's your responsibility to make sure you're taking care of your child. And I love that word that you said earlier about intervention. The power of intervention. Power of intervention. I mean, when you look at it biblically, you go, for God so loved the world, he gave, which means he intervened. He saved. Intervened. Yeah. So going to the courtroom and us being planted in that courtroom, and these guys now are ordered to come to us is an intervention. Yeah. And when they get to us like this. They're mad. They don't want to be there. But before the 12 classes is over, they're sitting up like this. They enjoying, and I call that the power of shared experience. Yeah. Because when they start to feed off one another, you realize, I'm going to do the same thing you're going to do the same thing I'm going to, and then they kind of correct each other. Absolutely. And that's the power of what these skills do. Yes, exactly. Is that whenever you make me better at something, one thing about a man
Anybody who's got any kind of man in your life, you want us to stop doing something, tell us we're not good at it. But if you want us to keep doing something, tell us we're good at it.
Tell us we're good at it.
You can make a brother who know he ain't strong enough. If you encourage him the right way, he can try to go pick up a semi truck.
Exactly.
No, he can't pick up a semi truck.
He's going to try. He could be out there doing it.
And to skills like co-parenting, you're teaching these fathers, look, you have to learn, especially if it's 4 parents now, you got somebody and the mother of your child has somebody, instead of y'all being enemies, be an ecosystem for that child.
Right.
Well, the child should have double what it needs. Now, it's a strong ecosystem. And there are other skills, like practical skills, like you guys teach budgeting.
Yes.
And how to manage yourself.
How you manage them
as an individual. You guys teach anger management, how to deal with your anger, how your feelings, how to control yourself.
Substance abuse is a major thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to pay my child support, I'm going to get this crack pipe.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit this weed. I'm going to hit this joint. Whatever drug that is. A lot of the guys, we talk about substance abuse, and we refer them to other substance abuse problems because that is a severe issue with a lot of men.
Yeah.
Because they are angry, they're mad, and they find healing in other things. What's not healing, they find other avenues to go out and express themselves, and sometimes it's in drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
So we talk about those things. You know, one of the stories I tell a lot is when I grew up, my mama would send us to, we talk about co-parenting now, we'll get back. My mama would send us to the wood to get a switch.
There you go, yeah.
And so get the switch. And you come back, and there was an art to get the switch.
Yeah.
You didn't get one too big, you didn't get one too small. Because my mom was a big woman, but I want her to hit me 2 or 3 times, and I want that switch to break.
Want to break, want to be over.
They want to be over with. And my mama get the satisfaction that she brought me pain, and I minimize the pain because the switch broke. The point is, when one parent uses the other parent to beat the child becomes the switch.
Yeah.
And the child is the one that breaks. And 2 things I can always remember. Number 1, the switch always broke, and the switch always hurt. So when we use the kid as a weapon to beat the other parent, it's the kid that breaks.
I'm telling you, I don't know if you've ever read it, but there's a book called When Love Is Not Enough, The Breaking of a Child. I don't know if you got that book, but I strongly advise you get that book. We got some other books that we're going to talk about, but that's one of the things that makes Fathers Forever what it is. And especially, let me just pause for the calls for all of you who support Fathers Forever. If you ever wanted to, there are certain things where you feel like in your own strength and your own power, you can't beat. Fatherlessness is one of those things. Homelessness is one of those things. There's some big things in our world where you feel like nothing I do can make its impact or difference. But when you support an organization like Fathers Forever, who actually has the tools, has the training, has the wisdom, has the strategies and the structure to eradicate this thing out of our culture. Yeah. When you give to Fathers Forever, or when you support Fathers Forever in any kind of way, that's you saying, I'm doing something about something before I didn't think I had any power to fix or to solve. But when you support Fathers Forever, that's literally you saying, I'm making a dent in this issue. And so the fatherhood program is exceptionally important, and we plan to pour more into the fatherhood program. We plan to go further, farther, and faster in 2025 than we did in 2024. We're not putting our foot on the brakes. We're putting our foot on the gas. And we're going to keep not coasting. We ought to be moving on. But that's not just, and that's just one pillar of Fathers Forever. Another pillar of Fathers Forever is the transitional housing. That one thing you guys intervene in the courthouse, in the actual lane where these guys are getting punished. But you guys are also, this is phenomenal, you guys are also positioned for even when you get out of the system, if you do find yourself being punished or sentenced or sent to jail, when you get out, let's talk about what is the transitional housing all about? How does it work? How does providing stable housing and actual real-time employment opportunities and employment training, what does that do?
Yeah, so in 2017, we were approached to start a transition house. There's guys who come straight from prison.
Yeah.
They've been in prison, they committed a crime, whatever it was, they paid their dues, they're not at discharge, they're released. A lot of times they can't go back home because of they don't, burn the bridge. They don't want to go back home.
Yeah.
That's where they got in trouble at. They can't go back to their parents' house because now they're felon. Right. A lot of times they're homeless. So we started a transition house. We started out with 4 beds. Now we have a total of 48 beds since 2017. We got 2 contracts from Department of Drug Correction, and then we just got another grant of a recovery house. So these guys come to us for 90 days. A lot of time, but 9% of the time, they come to us, the PO officer bring them to us, and they still in their prison uniform.
Wow.
Still in the, they come straight from prison to our door.
Wow, that's real.
And so we take them in, we do the intake, just 90 days to 120 days, where we provide housing, wraparound services, we help them find jobs, we help them, a lot of family reunification. If they got kids under 18, they have to take that 12 fatherhood. They got to take the fatherhood course
Program, yeah.
Other than that, they got to do substance abuse classes, because a lot of times, if there's substance abuse, they got them in trouble with the law because they went out and breaking and entering to get money for drugs. Right. So we do a lot of substance abuse class, a lot of anger management class. Again, we do. They have to do groups. They get they don't get therapy. They get a lot of coaching. We refer them to other agencies that if they need therapy. We don't provide therapy, but if they need therapy, we got a lot of
y'all in a position
to connect them to, a lot of the guys, they need therapy. Yeah. And as a former therapist, with Underwood County Umbrella, I know what that's like.
Some of us need therapy,
And these guys, they need a lot. So we refer them to other agencies that help them get that therapy to work through their anger and their frustration and their fear of their failure. Yeah. Well, now, we also talk about going forward. You got this felony now, and chances are it's not going to go nowhere. Right. You can't get in this sponge. There's a good chance. So what do you do going forward?
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. And we give them that hope that there's a lot of employees out there, employers, that's looking for guys who's skilled that they can train to work. So we have a lot of agencies that we work with them. NC Works, CSI. We have another partnership, the LA, the local reentry center. Yeah. We refer them to James Johnson and his team over there, that they provide a lot of services to them as well. Yeah. So it's really powerful to see these guys go through that 90 days and graduate and get out on their own now.
And the chances of their success when you bringing them into an environment of hope.
Yes.
And that's really what the transitional house provides.
Yes.
It's an environment, especially when you're coming out to nothing. You don't even have clothes.
Right. You don't have.
You're arriving literally in your prison clothes.
Yes.
And you guys are providing a complete wraparound service to say, hey, while you're with us, we're going to equip you and put you in the best position to be the father you were created by God to be.
Yes. And not only just the father or not, but, we feed them. We take care of them. We make sure, I love to eat, actually, obviously, though. My mom said it really well.
Yeah.
So we make sure these clients have 3 hearty meals, that they eat well, they have a warm environment. This is their home for 3 months. Right, 4 months sometimes.
So pretty much what you're doing is just saying, look, we're going to help you survive so you can start thriving.
Exactly.
Because as long as you're trying to survive, as long as you're trying to figure out where am I going to get clothes, right? Where am I going to lay my head?
Right.
What am I going to eat? If you're trying to figure out these things, oftentimes for most of these guys, who and what they are for their children,
right?
It's not because they're trying to live.
They're trying to survive.
And so this is why the transitional house is so important. It's so critical. And this is why the fatherhood program is so critical and so important. And let's get the people some numbers, because these are not just ideas,
right?
That we've been doing are going to help. There are facts, there are numbers. In 2024 alone, the transitional housing, we saw 242 million.
Yes.
That's almost 300 million. That's almost 300 families.
Yes.
Not even counting or accumulating how many individual children each of us 242 million touch or have or father. We actually saw 242 million come through the transitional housing program. And since the inauguration of the transitional housing, the year-to-date numbers to this point, we've seen 1,074 million go through our transitional housing. Y'all gotta let that sink in for a minute.
Yeah.
It's what you call success. And sometimes we can just blow right past and go into 2025. No, we gotta pause for the cause number.
Yeah.
And we gotta, matter of fact, if you're at home, put it in the chat, put it in the comments, put some fire emojis, put some hand clapping emojis, put a 100 in the chat. Let us know you support this, where else do you see in 1 year 242 individual touches on me? Where do you see since the start of this? I don't think it's been going on for 10 years, transitional housing.
No,
not even a decade yet.
2007.
We've already touched 1,074 men. Even with the fatherhood program, with the curriculum, Fathers Forever University, and everything that's been able to do, being local for a long time, and now getting to the point where it's being digitally offered next. Now it's not confined to four walls. Now it's a digital space, and it's an expansion thing. Even we have numbers for year-to-date total with our graduation programs. We've seen 43 graduations year-to-date.
Yes.
And that means people who have completed the entire 12 weeks. Now, the total, are y'all ready for this? Since the inception of this fatherhood program, we've seen 536 plus people maturate, grow through, learn the skills of this 12-week fatherhood program. Hearing numbers like that, hearing impact like that, even down to Fathers Forever at Glen Warren, the pillars are fatherhood program. The pillars are the transitional housing. But one of the things that you guys do that I love is you're always looking and searching for ways of what else can we do to help fathers be in the lives of the children. You're always thinking about new programs, new initiatives, new visions, new ideas. One of those ideas being Dad at a Distance, where you're providing books to men who are incarcerated, where you're, look, we're not even going to wait for you to get out. If we miss you and you're already in, I love that Fathers Forever. Look, we're going to put hope in whatever package we can get.
Yes, whatever you have, we're going to
get it to you. Listen to this. Dad's at a Distance, guys. Glen Warren started this program. Fathers Forever started this program where they wanted to send books into the system so that guys will have these life skills, these fatherhood skills available to them. Since the inception of Dad's at a Distance, we have donated 3,713 books. That is phenomenal. That is amazing.
The community have donated.
You have done. The people who have says, look, I'm not just going to say I support Fathers Forever, but I'm actually going to put my money, my time, my talents, my gifts on my mouth there.
Yes.
And whether you did it through a reverse book signing, our church has done one, however you have supported. If you've seen the Beast out there at different events, people have supported. And so, look, I'm going to help make this. I've seen people purchase a book, write the little note saying, saying this is going to a dad somewhere in some system who needs hope. When you hear these numbers, when you hear the 242 million, the 1,000 million, when you hear the transitional house numbers, when you hear the fatherhood program numbers, when you hear the Dads at a Distance number, partner with your personal journey, how do you keep up with the strength and the tenacity and the motivation to keep at this, to keep going at this?
Yes. So we're going to talk about Dads at a Distance. I would love to, on my staff, to go to my office and get those letters that we got from the prison. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But my personal story is I grew up in a household with my dad.
Yeah.
He was fourth grade education, but he raised 7 kids, sent 5 of us to college.
Yeah.
And, was a good, hardworking father, good man, married to my mom for 54 years. And then after I left home, I became a social worker. And, working in that field where you see a lot of my clients, men and women, for that matter, when I do the biosocial, I ask them about their life, their family lives. That box about the father was unchecked. They didn't know who he was. They never met him.
Yeah.
They was angry. They was mad. They had a lot of substance abuse, a lot of anger issues, a lot of abandonment issues.
Yeah.
And those kind of stories kind of compelled me to want to do something. And then I became a single father.
Right.
And when I became a single father, I raised my 3 kids. My ex-wife was involved in my kid's life, but I was the primary. Yeah. And she supported us. She paid child support, and she did all of that. So living, the life of that and seeing this play out. So now I grew up in a household with my dad. I became a single father, and I became a social worker. Like those 3 things, I got the best of all 3 worlds. I don't know what it is to be a single father. I know it is to grow up in a household with my dad. I also saw the devastation of people who grew up without their dad. Yeah. So those 3 things compelled me to want to really do something. And that's how we started Father's Forever.
Man. And that is incredible. And I think right here we have the actual letters.
These, we talked about Dads at a Distance. These came yesterday. Wow. This is the envelope.
Y'all see this?
This is the envelope that it came in. These are letters that, okay, so we have one of my partners, CLI. They collect, they don't pay for the books. The community, we do the letters like your church did, other churches, people support it on a regular basis. They donate these books. We take these books now to CLI. They distribute those books to over 1,500 facilities throughout the United States. You and I just can't send a book to prison.
Right.
We just can't do that because of the rules.
And this is why you got to support Fathers Forever, because you guys have built these partnerships. So you're able to do what people by themselves can't.
So how this came about, this is you can see the Texas address on this. Texas. Now how with this book probably get to Texas. Well, I'm glad you asked. Because they sent a bunch of books to a facility in Texas. A box of books, not just our books. Other books. Their mission is to get a lot of spiritual stuff into the prison. Right. Big ministry. They've been around forever. Google them, CLI. They're doing some wonderful work, and they're our partnership. And so we donated these books. We gave it to them, and they distributed books all over. Well, they sent a book in a box with other books to this prison in Texas. Wow. When the chaplain saw the book, he called me immediately and said, how can I get some of these books? So somebody donated 2 books. We took 25 books and sent it to them. And so now they're using this book to teach the guys in class and giving them credit for it. So the guys who takes the class, this makes the second batch of letter they send us. When they take the class, they write a summary. They write what they learned from this book. They send it to us.
Yeah.
So we got this, I think it's like 14 letters.
And right there, you're holding real life
testimony letters.
Like this stuff works.
This stuff works.
This stuff real.
And we're going to talk about
the letters that come in are the books that are already been sent. But correct me if I'm wrong, we're not done sending books.
No.
As a matter of fact, you got 2 rather new books, 1 really new book. But let's talk about your 2 most recent books.
Yeah, so this one right here, Fatherhood. This one here is one. This is actually our curriculum.
You see textbook.
Textbook. This is the 12-class curriculum.
Packaged into a book.
It's a textbook. These guys come to class with this book. After doing this since 2008, we developed a curriculum and we put it in a book. And so when the guys come to class, they have to bring this book with them. After every chapter, there's a homework assignment they have to complete, and we discuss this. So this is our textbook. This is our curriculum. This is also the book we send to dads at a distance. And so, and for people donate this book. Now, this other book.
Now, I know, before you bring that book out, I know you got one thing I know about Dr. Glen Warren, he's got a wide and vivid imagination.
Yeah.
And I know often you imagine a world where every child has a father. And it created this newest creation. Let's talk about that.
Yes. This book here it's really, we talked about it again, that word intervention.
Yeah, intervention.
So this is the book that we talked about. This book is really not written to fathers necessarily. It's about fathers, but it's written to people who work with fathers.
Yeah.
The social workers, the judges, the lawyers.
Absolutely.
Even the prisoners.
Absolutely, yeah.
The work with fathers. This is the book shows us how can we can create this world where every child will have access to a father.
Because it has to be important.
It has to be
important. This book, what this book does, it deals with the consciousness of people.
Yes.
It brings awareness to, look, we need to do something about fatherlessness.
It deals with the intervention. The intervention. The power of intervention. What is intervention? Intervention is being able to intervene. Like with COVID hit.
Yeah.
We had intervention. What did we do?
We did.
What did we do? We created the mask,
the protocol, the social distancing. Yeah, a lot of things came out of, and even with the CDC, we did reports. We talked about how important it is. Even at our church and even in the organization I was a part of, we had all kind of signs because we saw COVID as a real problem. That's the thing about it. When you see something, when you take a book like this, what you're doing is you're making something real to people say, hey, this is a real problem, and we need, meaning these kids can't make their fathers.
Right, exactly.
Be in their lives. And sometimes these fathers can't be made to be in the child's life. But if we all as a society, you see this thing as important.
Yeah.
And if all of us put our effort behind it.
If fatherlessness was a disease, it would be an epidemic.
Woo!
I'm saying, if it was a disease, it would be an epidemic. And that's how we can look at reducing fathers.
Absolutely.
But when the CD, it was an effort for the federal government. The CD came and said, okay, how are we going to reduce COVID? We're going to do 6 feet apart. We're going to do the mask. All that was intervention. So this book is about intervention. How do we intervene? And we look at the chapter. Has this book. One of them, the first chapter we talked about the initiate intervention, the partnership, the social workers. The client is not going to come on his own.
Absolutely.
So we got to get the partnership to be able to, hey, we're going to intervene. I know you're struggling, so I'm going to intervene by ordering you to go to this program.
Absolutely.
That's an intervention because the guys ain't come on their own. Then you got to have a place to send them to, which would be the father of the program. Now you got to have funding for the father of the program. Those things create the energy that fathers need now to come. And when all that happens, it's like what we've been doing on a large scale, what we've been doing on Father Forever is daughter. Suppose that was done on a large scale. Suppose we did that on a major large scale. And every agencies, social workers were referring guys to fatherhood program. Suppose in the community we had a fatherhood program, and I use this a lot when I talk about, everybody know what ABC store is. Whether you drink alcohol or not, whether you drink your Bacardi, whether you drink it or not, you know what ABC store is. Probably know what 2 or 3 were on it. Suppose we had a fatherhood program, just as many fatherhood program as we had ABC stores. Number one, it would give father opportunity to say, hey, if I need a place to go get help, I can go with it.
And this is why, let me have that book. And this is why we've got to do more of this. We've got to get these resources out to the public. This is why we need your support. This is why we need your donations. This is why we need, matter of fact, we are running out of time. We don't have almost any time. We have about 2 or 3 minutes left, and we done blew through our time together.
Wow. We got past.
But I need y'all to support. I need y'all to get this kind of stuff in your hand. And as we're closing and as we're wrapping up, the reality is we see the importance of Fox Forever. We see the importance of everything you guys want to do, everything you guys are trying to do, even with 2020 for everything, guys. All the numbers of everything you guys did, these letters right here from literal guys in the system. Sending, like, we know this is something that works. And so for anybody watching at home, anybody, any organization, any church, any pastor, any leader, anybody with a heart, anybody with a conscience, the main question I want to leave them with is we know a lot of nonprofits struggle with getting funding and getting the provision necessary to keep the vision at 100% capacity. How can people support Fathers Forever? I know we have some monthly support options. I know we got some donation options. And sometimes people don't like to talk about this, but I like to talk about this because I want to keep this organization alive and active, not just to the point where you have what you need, but how do we get Fathers Forever to the point where it has above or more than what it needs? Let's talk about these monthly support Fathers Forever and even how we have reoccurring contributions. How important is that to this organization doing what it needs to do?
It's very important. We do get grants, but grants come and go.
Absolutely.
And it's good when you get them, but it's go when you don't get them.
Absolutely.
They got to give them to other people. And so, but what could be consistent is the community giving something on a monthly basis. Whether it's $5, whether it's $10, whether it's $25, that monthly contribution helps us be able to prepare our budget for what we're going to do for the next year, for the next month, or how we can hire better staff. Because with our expansion now, we got to have some new staff. Again, grants come and go, so your monthly contribution makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Fatherhood program, I use this analogy a lot. She had 4 nonprofits. One was a kid, one was an animal, one was a women program, and one was a fatherhood program. Which one you think would get the money the most?
The animals.
The animals. Who's going to get it next? probably the kids.
The
mom's going to get it, but guess who's going to get?
Father's going to be last.
If they get it, by the time the money is gone.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of fatherhood programs out here that get grants. That's why we have to rely a lot of times on the individual donors, as well as other foundations who can give money.
Absolutely. And this is why fatherhood is so important. Not understanding that when you help the father, you help the woman, the child, and the animal. You help the whole family ecosystem. We really do believe that when a man gets in his rightful place, when he covers, protects, leads, and provides the way he is supposed to, we believe it's the way that God has set it up. There's a flourishing that comes to the unit. And that's why we need your support. And that's why we need you this year, 2025. Let this be the year where you make that deep commitment to Fathers Forever. Do the monthly contribution. It's 2025. A $25 a month commitment is nothing. A $225 commitment every month is nothing. Whatever you have the capacity to do, take this to your pastor. Take this to your leaders. If you got fraternities and sororities, if you're part of organizational groups and y'all are looking for ways to support or give, this is a great organization for you to give behind and support. I'm a part of a church that supports Fathers Forever. I would love for you to consider with everything that you've heard. And if you need more information, how do people stay connected? How can people stay connected to the vision and the mission of Fathers Forever this year going forward? What are some ways that people can stay connected?
Let's go to our website, www.afatherforever.com. I always call our phone number. I call 919-779-9905. Our physical address is 3029 Suite 105, Stony Brook Drive.
And as you come to this location, there are changes.
Oh, yes.
There's expansion happening as we speak. Things are moving forward.
You're going to have this all going on.
I'm telling you.
Right now.
I'm telling you. And so a lot of great things are happening. And I don't want you to miss. I don't want you to blink because you might miss what Fathers Forever is going to be doing in this next year. Y'all, this is Chat and Chew Season 4, Episode 1. Listen, as we're signing off, I need you to subscribe. As you see, there's a lot of stuff happening, and we need you in the now. We need you in the know. There's newsletters coming out. There's so many things to get connected to with Fathers Forever. But the first step is make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like us on all of our social media outlets. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel so that you know what's happening, you know what's going on. And the biggest thing, when you see anything come across any of your feeds on social media, you don't understand the power of your share. Just hitting that share button. If you've got 5,000 friends or 5,000 people connected to you on your social media, when you hit that share button, you're sharing this mission, this vision, this goal to everybody connected to you. So help us make Fathers Forever double the impact. We want to double the impact that we have in 2025. I've had an amazing time going through these impact numbers. We could sit here for 3 more hours.
I know, it's type of one.
Bring me some chicken and barbecue or some corn or something. We could sit here.
Have some sweet tea.
Sweet tea, but we are all out of time. Y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Here's 3 ways you can support our Dads at a Distance initiative. Give a copy to a family member, a friend. Donate monthly, a book monthly, 5 books monthly, how many books you want to do monthly donation. Reverse book signing, your church, your business. You can make a donation go to our website at www.afatherforever.com and go to our PayPal at Fathers Forever. Our Cash App is $Fathers Forever. Make your donation today. Please include in the note section, include DAAD. Again, include in the note section DAAD.
If you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, please visit our website at www.afatherforever.com or call us at 919-779-9905. The Chat and Chew podcast streams Thursdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. To schedule a reverse book signing or to find out more information about how you can become a part of the programs you heard us mention today, please be sure to stop by our website as well.
Hello everyone, this is Glen Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I want to share an alarming reality with you. 627,000 fathers are incarcerated that have kids under 18. Now, there are 56,000 moms incarcerated who have kids under 18. The reality is there are so many more fathers incarcerated than moms. This is why I Am a Father Forever book exists. Now, I need your help. I am inviting you to help us get this book into as many fathers incarcerated as possible. Here's how it works. For your donation of $22, we will provide a book to an incarcerated father. Thank you in advance for helping Fathers Forever heal fathers and save families.